um, Pharrell heard I was there and dropped off two incredible songs that were just about finished. I rewrote the verses and made them personal to me.
So let me get this straight. Jay-Z expects Beyonce to win Album of the Year when all the songwriters that contributed to these albums are not compensated. You can't mess with God's kids and then think that you will be rewarded. Pay songwriters. Rock Nation. Pay songwriters. Trying to get a damn award for Album of the Year, but you ain't paid the people who helped you make the damn album. Please, knock it off.
Sister Tiffany Red, baby, continue to do God's work. Hey, what's up and hello? This is the Chris Nicole giving you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. And 2024, wow. I'm a little speechless, but at the same time, I'm happy that people are no longer afraid to speak their mind on things that they have been holding on to for years. And Tiffany Red is now pulling a Cat Williams, but this time she's talking about the music industry. Cat Williams spoke about comedy, film, and TV, and Tiffany said, well, let me tell y'all the real deal on what goes on in the music industry. Now, Tiffany Red is a songwriter. She has written songs for Cassie, Zendaya, Rihanna, I believe, and Tamar Braxton, just to name a few. She's also an advocate. She is a firm believer in making sure that songwriters get their royalties, their publishing. They should get paid like they're supposed to get paid. She's all about creators, period, because if I'm not mistaken, she was also out there for the writer's strike as well as the actor's strike. So she's all about the artists getting their just due and what they deserve. So what triggered Tiffany Red to speak up? Well, that speech that Jay-Z gave at the Grammys. Jay-Z said that he felt like his wife, that young lady, deserved Album of the Year. And as you can see in the beginning of my video, she wasn't impressed by what he said. Because her main thing is maybe, just maybe, she's not getting Album of the Year because she's not paying the writers who actually write the work. Okay, so Tiffany decided to let it all out. She made several videos on her Instagram page and she let Beyonce, Jay-Z, she called out Rock Nation, she called out Parkwood, she called out the whole industry because she even talked about how she didn't get all of her publishing and royalties, even for artists that she worked with as well.
I posted some commentary on the conversation around Beyonce and Album of the Year. And so I just want to clear some things up real quick. So my name is Tiffany Red. I am a songwriter, a Grammy-winning songwriter. I have been writing songs for 17 years. I've been in the music industry my entire adult life. I'm the founder of the 100 Percenters. I run a nonprofit, and all I do is advocate for the compensation of songwriters. Why? Because I was a songwriter and I walked away from the music business because of the things that I speak about. So I have extensive experience. Almost all of my friends are in the music industry and write for your favorite artists like a Beyonce. So I'm not up on the internet just talking shit and making things up. I'm not stupid. I ain't trying to get sued. That's called defamation. I'm not defaming anybody. I am coming to y'all with things that I can back up. I don't never get on this platform and talk about shit I don't know. I be having, you see this thing? I am organized, honey. Okay? Y'all might not think that because you watch me on the internet and you don't know me like that for real. You only know the front facing Tiffany Red. But I got a brain. Okay. Secondly, almost every artist that I have ever written for has gotten publishing on the record. Almost every record that I have done, I have written when the artist was not in the room. I'll go through my own songs. Replay. Zendaya got 10% of the publishing, I think. She did not write on the song. She didn't. That song was written at a Rihanna song camp. It was on hold for Rihanna. Then it was on hold for Rita Ora. Famous came to me and said, yo, Tiff, there's this artist named Zendaya. We should cut Replay on her. So Zendaya got published and writer credit. She did not write on Replay. King by Tamar Braxton. I wrote and produced that song. I wrote that song for myself as an artist. In my living room. Tamar got, I don't know what she ended up getting. I think I own like 85% of that song. But I should own all of it because I did all of it. She didn't write shit. Seven Streeter, who's a songwriter. This one really hurt my heart. Seven Streeter, Just Being Honest. Me and Mansour did that song. It was originally called Bitch. I wrote that song by myself. I'm not even really a big co-writer like that. I prefer writing songs by myself because, I don't know, I just prefer to write like that. So I have a lot of records that I have placed that either have one co-writer on or that I've written solo dolo, right? Seven ended up with 10% of that record. I fought like hell for her to not have any of the publishing because she didn't write anything on it. Publishing is my only source of income. And by the way, none of the artists that I've mentioned have a career anything close to in music Beyonce. None of them do. But the reason why I'm bringing up my experience with every artist or almost every artist that I've worked with that has taken publishing that they did not earn on the songs that I wrote for them is because there is a precedent that's set. There's anybody that could reshape the precedent, if there's anybody that could influence the industry, that had the power and the money and the cultural thing to say, you know what, y'all, you're right. These songwriters have been out here. We've been in the street, literally. I have been in the street in front of Spotify. I've been in front of Universal. I have sat and I have talked to all y'all publishers. I talked to y'all publishers. I talked to the DSPs. I talked to the copyright royalty, the U.S. Copyright Office. I talked to NMPA. I talked to RIAA. I talked to SONA. I talked to NSAI. I talked to all of them. And guess what? Y'all are still broke. Okay? That's the fucking truth, right? Okay? So the reality is there is no A-list artist, B-list artist, or C-list artist that's not taking publishing. Because that is the way the music industry works. And to deny that is delusional. And what I will not allow is for anybody to make me feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone, because I know I'm not in the Twilight Zone. I can pull up my records. I talked to somebody yesterday. Somebody's a manager of somebody who is a writer and producer on Renaissance. Okay? The record is one of y'all faves. The song was written 6 years before it got to Beyonce. She got 25% of the song.
25%, that's a lot of money. And I am understanding Tiffany's side of this because I'm a creator. I love to create, and I know how hard it is to create and be original in your creativity, okay? It's not an easy task at all. So I totally understand what she is saying. Now, people who are just consumers who want to be entertained, they will never be able to understand this because their whole thing is, if I pay you money, I just want to be able to be happy, consume what product you gave me, and I don't care, which is fine. But for people who truly understand what it takes, whether you write books, whether you write songs, whether you write scripts, whether you do choreography, it takes a lot of energy, blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of years where you are not making any money to get to a certain status in life to be able to finally make money off of your creativity. Then when you can finally make money off of your creativity, someone is telling you automatically, even if you give them a final product, that they are going to take 25% of it just because. Not because they actually put in the work, not because they actually did rearrange or create something different. No, just so then that way I can make money off of you. And most of these writers, we really don't know who they are. Remember, there used to be a time where you would know the songwriters. We knew Babyface. We knew Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. We knew the songwriters back in the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s. Now, songwriters, you would have to be someone who's really passionate to actually look at the credits, or the songwriter has to be extremely vocal about talking about what they do and who they actually work for, or they're artists themselves, like a Neo. If they're not willing to do that, a lot of people don't know these songwriters. Why? Because they're going to look at a Beyonce or other artists as if they did most of the work. So on top of that, you're not getting all of your publishing and all of your royalties, and you're not even possibly getting the credit that you deserve for the actual song that you wrote for the artist. If you ask me, it's messed up. And she mentions Beyonce because she feels that Beyonce can change the power dynamics because she is one of the most powerful artists of this generation. So she feels she can change the power dynamics. But the question is, does Beyonce want to change the power dynamics? Because let Tiffany Red tell it, she gets anywhere between 25 and 30% of the songs that these other people write. Apparently, that's the going rate. If you want to write for Beyonce, or you want Beyonce to take one of your songs, allegedly off the top, she gets 25, 30%. That is insane. How are these people living? Because again, songwriting back in the day, used to make a lot of money, but now everything that's changed, it's like these songwriters, they're not making that much money. And a lot of these songs that you guys love so much, it's not these artists who are the front person writing these songs. It's people like Tiffany Red that you know nothing about. But let's continue.
That song, My Power by Beyonce. And I was listening to those lyrics and they just started to bother me. Because I was thinking, listening, and it's saying, you won't take my power. And then when I think about how many songwriters that have written for this woman whose power has been taken, and it made me think about that song, Break My Soul, You Won't Break My Soul. And then I think about how many songwriters' souls have been broken as this woman has taken up the publishing, which is the only thing that they have. They're publishing in a big chunk too. How's that free? I think Beyonce is a brilliant artist. I also think that Beyonce is a hypocrite.
So are we going to pretend like we haven't heard this before? Beyonce, let's take a trip down memory lane.
The reason I put out Bow Down is because I woke up, I went into the studio, I had a chant in my head. It was aggressive. It was angry. It wasn't the Beyonce that wakes up every morning. It was the Beyonce that was angry. It was the Beyonce that felt the need to defend herself. And if the song never comes out, okay, I said it. And I listened to it after I finished, and I said, this is hot. I'm going to put it out. I'm not going to sell it. I'm going to just put it out. People like it, great. They don't. They don't. And I won't do it every day because that's not who I am. But I feel strong. And anyone that says, oh, that is disrespectful, just imagine a person that hates you. Imagine a person that doesn't believe in you. And look in the mirror and say, bow down, bitch. And I guarantee you feel gangster. So listen to that song from that point of view. Again, if you didn't like it before.
Well, allegedly, you didn't write it at all. Our city wrote it. And allegedly, they actually wrote it for Rihanna. And I don't know why Rihanna didn't take it, but something happened and Beyonce allegedly received Bow Down. Again, written by our city.
Here's the issue, okay? This is really not about Beyonce or anything else for that. The reality is, okay, and I said what I said, so still all facts, okay? But the reality is that this is more about the fact that, like, there's a lot of hypocrisy and there's a lot of nonsense. So we've got Pharrell, who did an interview, I think last year, talking about artists' rights and how people should be able to rework their deals and artists should be getting credit for what they've done and all this stuff. Where in reality, when I was signed to him, I had the same manager that he had, and he has writing credits on my records, okay, all my singles, coincidentally, and he never wrote a song, a lyric a day in his life, okay? And so, yeah, that's a problem. Number two, we've got Beyonce, who, like I said, out of human decency and artistry and female, just all of the stuff she sings about, all this empowerment and stuff, I don't talk about it, I am about it, okay? So the reality is, all of this female empowerment stuff, it only counts if you really do it. If you're really living it and walking the walk. Don't just talk the talk. It's real cute and fun to sing all these girls' songs. Like, come on now. Let's be real, all right? And then thirdly, you want to talk about Pharrell's like, oh, because I'm happy. I'd be happy too if I was stealing all kinds of folks publishing and rights to songs and all kinds of stuff. I actually really wouldn't be happy because it's evil. But the point is, okay, is that there's a lot of hypocrisy and someone has to talk about it and bring it up. And it just so happens that I was thrown in this. This is not like I looked for it. I was actually last night, I was posting on my Bounty and Full page, just doing my own thing. And then I saw one of my fan pages and someone was like, oh, that's a collaboration between B and Khalees. No, it's not a collaboration. It's called thievery because the collaboration, the definition of collaboration, it means that we are working together. There's no working together if you are not even checking to see if everything's cool. That's a problem, okay? I would never do that to another artist. For real. I never have, I never would. Why? Because what's the point? If I like it so much, why wouldn't I just be like, yo, I really like it. Can I use it? What's up? Like, whatever. That doesn't happen, right? It's nonsense. Because some people, I don't know what they think. I don't even care. The point is, something has to be done about it. I'm not just going to talk about it. I'm not going to pop off all the time. I'm saying what I have to say because it's true, okay? But I do think that something needs to be done. It happens to a lot of artists. It happens all the time. And I think that really something needs to change. And this just might be the fuel that I needed to actually do it. Because honestly, I try to keep to myself and stay out of the drama. But if it keeps coming to me, what else am I going to do, right? That's all. So say what you want to say. I don't really care. Peace.
Khalees said this a couple of years ago. She said, don't sing about empowerment and women empowerment if you're not about women empowerment and sisterhood. So notice, though, the two people who are willing to call out the hypocrisy in the industry, especially in the R&B hip hop sector, are two African American women. You notice that? Both of them are willing to put all of their stuff on the line to tell their truth. Interesting. Oh, but I have a couple more.
Want to take credit for it and act like you didn't write it because they want to make it seem like I did this?
That's happened before. Are you talking about Beyonce, Angela Yee over there? Are you just gonna say Charlamagne's mom's name?
What?
Yeah, I'm a Pinkett Smith.
But I'm sure that. But no, let's be real. I'm sure that happens a lot, not just with Irreplaceable. I'm sure that's happened a lot of times with artists because they put a song out, people feel like, oh, she's singing from the heart. She's singing about, something that she experienced, or he's singing about something that he experienced. So they want to make it seem like they wrote it themselves.
Right. I mean, not to, I didn't take any offense to that because here's my thing. Okay, when I write a song for an artist, I want that artist to take that song and make it theirs. If you listen to my version of Irreplaceable and listen to Beyonce's version of Irreplaceable, it's two damn totally different songs with all the harmonies and extra stuff that she put in there. So yeah, I gave her writer's credit because that counts. That's writing. That harmony that you put right there, that little background part, I didn't write that originally. You put that in there. So for her to take the song and make it hers, I didn't mind her saying, I wrote this for my girls at a concert or whatever the case may be. Because in a way, technically, in a way, she did. She put her spin on it.
Nice political answer, Neo. I remember this story. I remember when Beyonce said that she wrote Irreplaceable. And being an LA girl, I remember when Neo was on Power 106, Big Boy's Neighborhood, the morning show, where he actually revealed that he wrote Irreplaceable. They even had him sing the song to make sure that he actually knew the lyrics to prove that he wrote the song. Now, he can say all day long she helped with the melody and the harmony, and that's the reason why he gave her a writings credit. Nice save, Neo. But here's my thing. If you didn't feel slighted about her taking credit for writing the song, why did you go on a syndicated show like Big Boy's Neighborhood to let everyone know that you wrote Irreplaceable? I mean, at the end of the day, if you claim that she helped writing a song, what's wrong with her saying she wrote the song? In my opinion, he made sure he wanted people to know he actually wrote the lyrics because as a creative, he wanted to make sure he got his credit, and rightfully so. Now, with that being said, let me show you the biggest proof that I have. And again, I don't own the rights to any of these videos in fair use, just in case, because I already know how Beyonce stands are.
You don't want us to go to their shows, right?
Why?
Because we gonna take everything.
Yeah, but everybody does that. Though.
No, everybody does.
Yeah, you know. But it is gonna be fresh.
But we go and meet everybody and say, "Hey, great show," and then still is.
Well, I mean, she said it. And, you know, one thing that's been a pet peeve of mine, and I've only heard this for the last 10 or 15 years, people are saying, well, everyone does it. Everyone steals. I'm sorry. Did Stevie Wonder steal? Does he steal? Did Prince steal? Did Whitney Houston steal? Does Janet Jackson steal? I never heard anyone accuse these people of stealing anything. Did Earth, Wind, and Fire steal? So please miss me with that excuse. Nothing is new under the sun. A true artist will always be inspired by something or someone. But there's a difference between taking that inspiration and making it your own where it looks brand new to people versus doing a copy and paste or just downright stealing someone's work. Beyonce has been accused of allegedly stealing people's work, doing a copy and paste on visuals, and also, I guess, putting a copy and paste, putting her name on lyrics that she never actually put pen to paper to actually write those lyrics.
The reason why people who work for Beyonce don't talk is because they're all on NDAs. Because that's also how she works. She silences people so that nobody can speak. I'm not a writer that's written for Beyonce. I haven't shot my shot at Beyonce because I'm not willing to give her any publishing. Not because I haven't had the opportunity. I've had the opportunity to work with everybody. And I've turned down a lot of stuff because I'm not willing to play these games. There's a massive power dynamic happening. Please don't act like it's easy to negotiate with Beyonce and her team, because it is not. If that was the case, there would not be so many people coming to me like, Tiff, this is how much was taken. Shit is not negotiable. It's not. These are the terms, which means, okay, cool, then we work for you, Beyonce. So that means you're an employer. But either way, to imply that the artists do not have to be responsible for the business practices that they exercise with songwriters, to insinuate that the only way you are treated fairly is if you are managed by one of the gatekeepers is bullshit. It's bullshit. You shouldn't have to be in company with a gatekeeper to be treated fairly. You should not have to have a gatekeeper on your team to make a livable wage off of music that is making people billionaires. Them Grammys don't pay the bills. Those plaques do not pay the bills. There are people with Grammys and plaques who can't pay their rent. I know people who are super accredited, broke, It means nothing.
There goes that gatekeeper word again. Cat Williams said it. When I tell you again, 2024 is no joke, she is saying the exact same thing. The gatekeepers. And how if you are not controlled by the gatekeepers, if you are not managed by the gatekeepers, then pretty much it sounds like you're shit out of luck. This is sad, you guys, because I am sure that some of these writers that she's talking about have created some amazing hits.
I remember having a conversation with a writer who wrote on, what was the record Beyonce did after or before Renaissance? I can't remember whatever the record was. I remember talking to one of the writers and talking to them about how much of the publishing she was taking. And this writer was like, look, Tiff, I don't want no smoke with me. Like, I just let her take the publishing. That's bullshit. All of these writers that you guys see celebrating in the studio with these artists posted up in pictures like, yeah, everything is all good. Those writers are being exploited. Those writers' time is not paid for. Their services are not paid for. Their contribution to the sound recording is not paid for. Their first use of the copyright is not paid for. But I'm tripping. But I'm tripping. No. They're tripping. And you're tripping if you with them. And you know, the thing that burns me up the most about Beyonce, and this is why I'm speaking about her specifically, is because Beyonce is Queen Bee. Beyonce is a Black artist. Beyonce represents Black excellence. Beyonce's team, like the people who work with her, these writers that I'm talking about that are exploited, they're us. You know what? It's so funny because when I think about my own career and all the people that have fucked me over, it's been my own people. Because those are the opportunities I had to work with my people. And this business is a racist business. So if you're Black, you're usually put in R&B and hip hop with artists that are Black, creatives that are Black, executives that are Black. And you know what your people do to you? The same thing that white people do to you. And we pedestal them like goals. That is not fucking goals. Capitalism is not goals. That shit is not cute. Capitalism is rooted in chattel slavery. That's the foundation of capitalism. To be a billionaire, you have to exploit labor. That is not the shit.
Ooh, child, if I had $1 for every time someone who looks like me screwed me over, I wouldn't have to work a 9 to 5. When I tell you she took it there, but it's so true. It's the people who look like you who will screw you over before anyone else. And the main reason is so they can continue to be about their own self-interest, so they can stay at a higher level and keep you under them. It's a sad situation, but unfortunately, it's reality.
My comments about Beyonce not winning Album of the Year and me saying, you know what, maybe karmically it's not coming to you because of the way that you're doing creatives, I meant that with everything in me. I hear the racial discussion and all the things, and I think that that has its place. But this has its place too. It does. And they all can exist. Beyonce could absolutely reform her business practices. Beyonce could absolutely reform Parkwood's business practices. It's a decision, choice to take 25% of publishing that you didn't earn. That's wage theft. That's what that is. That's bullying. That's abuse of power. That is the power dynamic. People out here think they're going to lose their opportunities, lose their jobs, lose their relationships, lose everything trying to negotiate. What you're not going to do is try to make me feel crazy, because I know I'm not crazy. I'm a songwriter. I have lived this. My friends around me live this still. I hate it for them. There are artists that are A-list artists that could lead the charge here too. I'm not saying wait on Beyonce. I'm not. But I am going to say what I need to say about it, because for the last almost 4 years now, I have had so many writers come to me about her specifically. And I also want y'all to know that, like, I'm not the kind of person that comes to the internet first. I come to the internet last. I come to the internet at the end when I tried everything else I could try. So trust and believe on the back end, I've been doing a lot when it comes to this conversation and who I'm having conversations with and how and all the things. So I've been doing what I'm supposed to do. And nothing has gotten done. People's splits still aren't done. People still aren't getting paid. People still aren't being seen. People still aren't being heard. People are still being silenced. People are still under NDAs and some more shit. While Jay-Z's up there on Sunday talking about why it's not fair Beyonce don't got a Grammy for Album of the Year. So hell yeah, I have something to say. Because it's hypocrisy. Also, not for nothing, Taylor Swift is a songwriter. She writes her albums.
Tiffany, God bless you. And I truly mean that. And we have to protect our truth tellers at all costs, because it is time for truth. Truth is light. Truth is power. I think Beyonce is talented, but her talent has limits, and that's perfectly fine that her talent has limits. I think the problem is she desperately wants to be compared so badly to the greats, the Michael Jacksons, the Prince, the Whitney Houstons, the Tina Turners. She wants that so badly that she feels like the only way she can achieve that is by claiming she does it all, claiming she does the writing, claiming she thinks about the visuals, claiming that she is the one who thinks about how she's going to do her performance. And more, I guess we're kind of seeing that that's not true. And it's okay. There are so many artists that have a whole team behind them that does it for them. And we all know that Beyonce can perform the hell out of anything. So just, that's your talent. You can perform your ass off. Just be honest that what you're performing, you didn't create. That's all. You know, give people their flowers. Just like you want your flowers, you give your creatives, your writers, your choreographers, your directors, the people who create your visuals, give them their flowers. And what I mean by that is don't hide who they are in your interviews, or give them shout outs when you get your Grammys, so these people can eat just like you. And people always want to say that Beyonce and other A-list Black celebrities are the epitome of Black excellence. Let me tell you something. You cannot be the epitome of Black excellence if you are screwing over your own people. Okay? You cannot be the epitome of Black excellence when your own people that you are hiring are struggling. Okay? That is not the epitome of Black excellence, in my opinion. Black excellence is you being successful, but also allowing other people who look like you to also be successful. Everyone should be able to eat, okay? That is my opinion on what Black excellence is. I'm shocked that someone actually spoke up and finally spoke up about the situation, because let's not pretend that people get very silent when it comes to Beyonce and Jay-Z and other A-list celebrities. So again, Tiffany, in my book, she put herself out there to actually talk about other writers who are also getting screwed over because she hasn't even wrote for Beyonce. She's speaking on the behalf of her friends that are too afraid to speak up. So kudos to her. I just hope, Tiffany, that those same people will back you up one day. Because I've been that girl to always speak truth to power and just say, you know, right is right, wrong is wrong. I'm going to speak up. And then some of those same people that I spoke up for try to throw me under the bus. So I'm hoping that Tiffany understands where this could possibly go in regards to people who she thinks may be her friends, may not actually be her friends. So with that being said, what do you guys think about this? Definitely leave your comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you on my next video. Toodles.